Welcome, fellow lovers of the weird and strange. This is Lance, your host of Legends of the Hidden Horde, where we explore the folklore behind the mythical creatures that stalk the dark corners of our globe. A huge thank you to all of you for tuning in. Your ears make these strange journeys possible. If you enjoy the show, please hit that subscribe button, leave me a quick review, and give me a follow on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, or X. Your support truly makes a difference. Now, let's dive into the next story. They say the monte does not forget. It remembers every footfall, every greedy swing of the machete, every broken promise whispered or forgotten beneath its canopy. In the black-soaked lowlands of Belize, where the ancient blood of the Maya still nourishes the roots of towering ceiba and mahogany, something older than empires walks. Not a devil conjured by colonial fear, not a simple saint of the wild, something woven from the first covenant between people and the green world, when the pyramids drank starlight and the forest still spoke in unbroken tongues. This is episode 28, Tata Duende. Among the Yucatec Maya, he is spoken of with quiet reverence as Nukuchtat, the great elder, or Tata Balam, the shadow that wears the jaguar's ancient patience. The Spanish tongue tried to reduce him to Duende, a household goblin, but the Monte rejected the diminishment. He remains El Dueño del Monte, the owner of the wild, the living memory of reciprocity. His presence echoes through generations of oral traditions, a guardian spirit born from pre-colonial Maya animism, where every tree, river, and creature held spirit, later layered with the syncretic voices of Mestizo, Creole, and Garifuna storytellers who carried the warnings through logging camps and remote milpas. The story they do not tell the children until the night is deep enough for fear to take root. Maria was a woodcutter's daughter from a small milpa near the Guatemalan border. She was proud, quick with the blade, and believed the old warnings were relics for the fearful. Her father had taught her the forest bounty, but omitted the asking. One dry season, with the air heavy as regret and the sun bleeding out behind the canopy, she went alone to claim a straight mahogany the village needed for a new canoe. No tobacco scattered at the cardinal directions. No zaka, the sacred corn drink, poured as offering. No whispered plea. Nukuchtat, I take only what the people must. Permit me this life so that we may live. The trees closed behind her like the lid of a forgotten tomb. At first, only the ordinary sounds of rustling leaves, the drips of condensation. Then came the whistle. It sounded like her dead father calling her name across the years. But the cadence was wrong. Slow, patient, and possibly hungry. It circled her, now close enough to feel on the nape of her neck, now echoing from a ridge hours away. She followed. The Monte makes certain you do. She found the first footprints at twilight's dying edge, small, bare, toes pointing back the way she had come, heels driving forward into the unknown, backward feet, the mark of one who walks between the world we see and the one that sees us. Maria's pulse quickened, but pride pushed her onward. Deeper in, the second sign appeared, a cluster of purple eggs glowing faintly like bruised moonlight nestled at the base of a ceiba. In kinder tellings, these were gifts from Tata Duende, tokens for the respectful. And this night, they felt like a warning ignored. Then he stepped into the falling light. No taller than a child of 10 years, yet the weight of uncounted centuries pressing the air around him. A wide-brimmed hat the color of clotted blood set low over the eyes like wet obsidian, reflecting nothing, yet seeing everything. A beard of moss, spider silk, and twisted roots crawled down his chest, moving faintly as though alive with its own slow breath. His clothes were patched animal hides that still twitched, as if the creatures remembered the moment of their death and resented the theft. In his right hand, he carried a machete, older than any metal the Spanish ever brought, its edge black with centuries of respectful, necessary use, never wasted. But it was his hands, and what they lacked, that froze the blood in her veins. 4 fingers on each, no thumbs. The elders say Tata Duende lost them long ago in the forging of the first covenant, or never possessed them, or took them from those who reached too greedily towards what was not offered. Children in the villages still hide their thumbs when the whistle rides the night wind. Some never find them again. Some return changed, their hands forever marked by the guardian's judgment. Maria tried to run. The forest betrayed her with intimate cruelty. Vines slid across her ankles like living snares, tightening with each desperate step. Roots erupted from the mud to trip her. The whistle now came from every direction at once, a chorus of lost souls, braided hunters, forgotten woodcutters, all woven into one ancient, patient voice. She fell hard. Her machete flew from her grip and buried itself point first in the earth at his tiny backward feet. He crouched beside her. The smell of him was rain on limestone, old blood, and the deep green rot of centuries. When he spoke, it was not with sound, but with understanding forced directly into her mind, like cold spring water poured into the skull, carrying visions of fallen empires and silent forests. You take without asking, little thief of the green? The monte has kept your people since the first fire was kindled beneath the ceiba. It fed your ancestors through drought and conquest. And still you forget the balance? Still you cut without gratitude? Maria's vision blurred with memories not her own. An ancient Mayan farmer leaving offerings before planting. Spanish loggers vanishing into the bush, never to return. Modern chainsaws silenced by sudden, inexplicable misfortune. She saw the backward footprints leading away, deeper, into the caves where the Duende kept the bones of the disrespectful as reminders. In some tellings, the gentler threads preserved in Yucatec Maya oral histories. He simply leads the offender in circles for 3 days and 3 nights until humility returns, braiding the manes of their horses against biting flies as a quiet act of lingering care. In the darker edges whispered around dying fires in Creole and Garifuna communities, he takes something permanent, a thumb, a year of life, the ability to ever feel at home beneath the canopy again. Among certain storytellers, he remains the protector who guides lost children home by starlight, leaving purple eggs or small braided gifts for the worthy. But the guardian and the punisher are not two beings. They are the same ancient hand, open in reciprocity, closed in judgment. Variations of the lore reveal the living, breathing nature of the tradition. In remote settlements near the Maya Mountains, Tata Duende appears as a helpful elder during times of need, aiding respectful hunters with better game or protecting milpas from pests. During Holy Week or Lent, however, the lore darkens. He becomes the taker of disobedient children, dragging them into hidden caves or caverns that open only for him, returning them weeks later pale and silent, forever marked. Cousins to this spirit, the Alush of the Yucatan, guard cultivated fields more than deep forests. They demand their own tiny houses of stone and lime, punishing those who disturb them with illness or misfortune, while rewarding the devout. These variations across Belize, Guatemala, Honduras, and Mexico's Yucatan underscore the rich diversity of Maya-derived traditions, adapting through centuries of cultural exchange, resilience against colonialism, and conjured reverence for the living earth without contradiction. Each community shapes the guardian to reflect its own relationship with the monte. Maria awoke at the very edge of her milpa 3 mornings later, fevered and broken. Her machete was gone. In its place lay a single mahogany leaf, its veins arranged like a map she could never quite read. On her right hand, the thumb had turned pale, numb, and cold as riverstone. It never fully recovered. She lived, but the forest no longer felt like home. On certain humid nights when the wind moved just right through the ceiba, the village still heard the whistle, closer now, patient, waiting for the next proud soul who would forget to ask. Yet the story does not end with punishment alone. In later years, Maria became a keeper of the old ways. She taught the children to scatter tobacco in Porzaka. She listened for the whistle not with fear, but with the respect it demanded, and sometimes, on the clearest nights, travelers reported a small figure with backward feet guiding them truly lost back to the path, his red hat briefly visible before vanishing into the mist. Tata Duende is not a monster in the way outsiders so often imagine. He is the living memory of reciprocity, an embodiment of indigenous wisdom encoded across millennia in the face of conquest, extraction, and forgetting. In him, the Maya understanding of the world alive with spirit, where humanity is but one thread in an intricate web, confronts our modern age of relentless consumption, technological detachment, and ecological amnesia. He teaches that the land is not backdrop, resource, or commodity. It is kin. It is elder. It is judge. When we forget the asking, when we take without offering, when we silence the whistle in our own hearts with chainsaws and concrete, the forest itself grows teeth. The backward footprints become our own path, disoriented, lost, forever marked. In our future of melting glaciers, dying coral reefs, vanishing species, and sprawling urban deserts, the lesson is mercilessly clear. The guardian does not require our belief to act. The monte will reclaim balance with or without us, through storm, drought, or quiet reclamation. Tata Duende therefore stands as both dire warning and profound invitation. Listen to the land. Ask permission. Give back more than you take. Walk lightly upon the earth. Honor the covenants written in root and leaf long before any written law. Embrace the syncretic wisdom of indigenous traditions that have sustained these ecosystems for thousands of years. Only through such humble coexistence can we hope to restore harmony. Ignore it and some thumbs will be lost forever once the backward path closes around us. The choice, as it has always been, remains ours. For now. That's it for the story of Tata Duende. I appreciate you tuning in. If you enjoyed it, please hit that subscribe button on your favorite podcast app. Give me a follow on social media. And remember to never enter the monte without remembering whose house it truly is. And keep your eyes open. You never know what might be lurking in the shadows.